Good morning, everyone. My name is Gina Lee. Today, my informative speech topic is how to prevent Ebola from spreading. But before I start my speech, I would like to ask you several questions. How many of you have suffered from bird flu before? Please raise your hand. No? Obviously no one. And how many of you have suffered from SARS? Please raise your hands. No one? And how many of you have suffered from H1N1? Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are few students in the classroom who have suffered from H1N1 before. Just like myself, I have suffered from H1N1 when I was in high school, and I will talk about it later to share my experience with you. Here is the outline of my speech today. First of all, I'm going to share my personal experience of getting H1N1 with you later. Then, I'm going to talk about some symptoms of Ebola virus when people suffer from Ebola virus. Then I will provide you several simple ways to prevent Ebola virus. And that is the conclusion part. Here, I would like to begin with, I would like to share my personal experience with you. When I was in high school, I suffered from H1N1, which was once a very, very scary influenza at that time. The reasons why I got H1N1 is not because I didn't wear masks every day or I contacted with people who have been infected with the disease frequently. Instead, I wore mask every day and I try to avoid staying in a public occasion, but I still get one. Every day when I turn on the televisions, the news are all about H1N1, saying that how serious the disease is and how people would die if you are infected with the disease. I was just panicked at that time, and I started picturing how uncomfortable it would be if I really got one. Having so much negative thoughts in my mind makes me weak. Ironically, I was so cautious that I got the least thing I want, catching H1N1. After treating for 1 week, fortunately, I recovered. But I realized one thing. Actually, the scary thing is not the disease itself. It is the negative thoughts that bring people to sickness. Only by thinking positively can you live more healthily. Recently, the case of Ebola is very, very similar to the H1N1 case. Every day when you turn on the television, you can always see at least one piece of international news reporting how serious Ebola virus is now and how people would die if you are infected with the disease. And they report that the Ebola virus could cause an acute, serious illness, which is fatal if untreated. And there are some symptoms that when you first got the Ebola virus. First of all, you will suffer from onset of fever fatigue, having muscle pain, and having headache or sore throat, which is very, very similar to the symptoms when you got cold. However, these symptoms will be followed by more serious symptoms like you will start to vomit and have diarrhea, rash, and the symptoms of impaired kidney and liver function. And in some cases, there are even both internal and external bleeding, which is very serious and killing people. Besides, through close contact with the blood, secretions, organs, or bodily fluids of infected animals, Ebola virus is introduced to human population. In some cases, healthcare workers have been infected frequently while treating people with suspected or confirmed Ebola virus. However, after hearing terrible symptoms, you will start to feel panic, right? But this is not the worst part. According to the statistics, the average EVD, which is Ebola virus disease case fatality rate, is up to 50%, which means if two people are infected with the disease, then one people will die. But let's think more positively. If two people were infected with the disease, then one people will survive. It sounds less scary, right? Okay. So after watching views about Ebola all day long, it is very, very normal that you will feel panicked and feeling afraid of being the next victim. However, you should still keep calm and thinking in a more positive way. Because remember, according to my previous experience, the more you are afraid of the disease, the more possible you will get the disease. So stop thinking in a negative way and start smiling now. Thinking positively can definitely help the world keep Ebola from spreading. Because the more you laugh, the least you will be the victim of the Ebola virus, lowering the possibility of passing the Ebola virus to other people. In conclusion, everyone's positive attitude counts. So from now on, the world needs your smile. Let's be the hero to save the world. Thank you so much.